Hi, in this video, we will solve example sums for passing journal entries when shares are issued at a premium. We will consider the situation where the shares are fully subscribed. So let's go to example sum 1. Example sum 1. Star Limited issued 20,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each at a premium of rupees 2 per share payable along with application. All the shares were fully subscribed and the amount was duly received. Pass the necessary journal entries in the books of the company. So we have here the amount is payable in lump sum and the amount payable or the issue price per share is rupees 12. So the total amount payable with application will be 20,000 multiplied by 12, which is equal to 2,40,000 rupees. So let's go ahead with the solution. In the books of Star Limited journal, we have the first column, date / serial number, particulars, LF number, debit rupees, and credit rupees. The first journal entry is for receipt of application and allotment money, including the premium. So we have bank account debit to equity share application and allotment account, being application and allotment money including premium received. The amount received, as we have already calculated, is rupees 2,40,000. The next journal entry is at the time of allotment of shares. We have equity share application and allotment account debit to equity share capital account and to securities premium reserve account, being application and allotment money transferred to share capital account and securities premium reserve account. Against equity share application and allotment, we will write the amount of the first journal entry. The amount towards equity share capital is 20,000 shares multiplied by 10 rupees, which comes up to rupees 2 lakh. And the amount of premium is 20,000 rupees multiplied by 2 rupees per share, which is 40,000 rupees. So these are the journal entries for the first example sum. The amount is payable in lump sum and it's an issue of share at premium. Next, let's go to example sum 2. Example sum 2. Nilex Limited issued 1 lakh shares of rupees 10 each at a premium of rupees 10 per share, payable as follows: rupees 10 on application and the balance on allotment. The issue was fully subscribed and the amount was duly received. Pass the necessary journal entries. So the number of shares which have been issued and subscribed is 1 lakh shares. The amount is payable in installments. The two installments are application and allotment. The total issue price of the share is rupees 20, 10 pertaining to share capital and 10 pertaining to premium. There is nothing mentioned in the question as to when the premium of rupees 10 is payable. So we need to assume that it's payable along with allotment. In the sum, it's given that 10 rupees is payable on application. It does not include any premium. So it's 10 plus 0 in the case of application and 0 plus 10 rupees premium in the case of allotment. So there is no amount towards share capital which is payable at the time of allotment. Let's go ahead with the solution. In the books of Nilex Limited journal, date / serial number, particulars, LF number, debit rupees and credit rupees. The first journal entry is for receipt of application money, bank account, debit to share application account, being application money received. The amount is 1 lakh shares multiplied by 10 rupees payable on application, comes up to 10 lakh rupees. The second entry is transfer of application money to share capital at the time of allotment of shares. So share application account, debit to share capital account. Narration being application money transferred to share capital account. The amount of the application money which is transferred is rupees 10 lakh. The third entry is to make the allotment money due. So we have share allotment account debit. Please note, no amount is payable towards share capital in the case of allotment. The entire amount of rupees 10 is payable towards security premium reserve. So we will credit securities premium reserve. Account being allotment money due. The amount is for 1 lakh shares multiplied by the amount of premium, which is 10 rupees. So it's 10 lakh rupees. And the final journal entry is receipt of allotment money, bank account debit to share allotment account. Narration being allotment money received. And the amount of allotment money received is whatever is due, which is 10 lakh rupees. So we've completed the journal entries. I'll remove the split. We can view the answer. That's the question at the top. We will follow this format of 10 plus 0 and 0 plus 10. That is the amount of share capital plus the premium included in that particular installment. So we will follow this format in the subsequent questions when shares are issued at premium. The 4 journal entries there on the screen. So we've completed example 2. Let's go to example sum 3. Example sum 3. Alpha Limited was registered with a capital of rupees 1 crore in equity shares of rupees 100 each. It issued a prospectus inviting applications for 20,000 equity shares at a premium of 40%, payable as follows. Rupees 50 on application, including rupees 10 premium. Rupees 40 on allotment, including rupees 10 premium. Rupees 30 on first call, including rupees 10 premium. And rupees 20 on second and final call, including rupees 10 premium. The shares were fully subscribed and the amount was duly received. We are asked to pass the necessary journal entries and also show how share capital will appear on the balance sheet of the company. And also we are asked to prepare the notes to accounts for the share capital. We'll begin with making a few notes. Number of shares issued and subscribed by the public is 20,000 equity shares. The face value of the share is rupees 100 and the issue price per share is it's at 40 rupees premium, 40% off rupees 100 face value. So issue price is rupees 140, which is rupees 100 plus the premium of 40 rupees. Let's break down the installments. We have application, allotment, first and final call. We know this should total up to 100 plus 40. Application is 50 rupees. It includes 10 premium. So it's 40 plus 10. Allotment is rupees 40 including 10 premium. So that's 30 plus 10. First call is rupees 30 including 10 premium. So that's 20 plus 10. And the final call is rupees 20 including rupees 10 premium. So that is 10 plus 10. On adding, the share capital total comes to 40 plus 30 plus 20 plus 10, 100, and the premium also comes to 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, which is 40. Now let's go ahead with the solution. We'll begin with the journal entries in the books of Alpha Limited. Journal. We have date / serial number. We have a particulars column. A left number. Debit rupees and credit rupees. Let's begin with the first journal entry. We need to pass entry for receipt of application money of rupees 50 per share. So it's bank account debit to, it's an equity share, it's mentioned. So we have to write equity share application account. Narration, application money received on 20,000 shares at the rate of rupees 50 per share. We have 10 lakh rupees as application money received. Second entry is to transfer share application money to share capital and security premiums reserve. Equity share application account debit to equity share capital account to securities premium reserve account. Narration, application money transferred to share capital account and securities premium reserve account. The total amount of application money is the amount of the first journal entry, which is 10 lakh rupees. The amount towards equity share capital is 20,000 shares multiplied by 40 rupees per share. So that comes up to 8 lakh. And the amount of premium is 20,000 multiplied by 10, which is 2 lakh rupees. The third entry, we will make the equity share allotment money including the premium due. So equity share allotment account debit to equity share capital account to securities premium reserve account. Narration: allotment money including premium due. Against equity share allotment, it's 20,000 shares multiplied by 40 rupees comes up to 8 lakh. The amount towards share capital is 20,000 multiplied by 30, just 6 lakh rupees, and 20,000 multiplied by 10, which is 2 lakh, is for securities premium reserve. Fourth entry is for receipt of the allotment money of 8 lakh rupees. Bank account debit to equity share allotment account. Allotment money received. The amount of allotment money that was due was 8 lakh rupees, and that has been received. Let's go to the fifth entry. We need to make the first call money including the premium due. Equity share first call account debit to equity share capital account to securities premium reserve account. Narration: first call money including premium due. The amount of the first call which is due is 20,000 multiplied by 30, comes up to 6 lakh rupees, and the amount towards equity share capital is 20,000 multiplied by 20, which is 4 lakh, and the amount towards the premium is 20,000 multiplied by 10, which is 2 lakh rupees. The sixth entry is for receipt of the first call money, bank account debit to equity share first call account. Narration: first call money received. The amount due was 6 lakh, and that's been received. The seventh entry, we'll make the final call including the premium due. Equity share final call account debit to equity share capital account to securities premium reserve account. Narration final call money including premium due. It's 10 plus 10, so the total against the final call is 20k multiplied by 20 rupees, which is 4 lakh rupees, and the amount towards share capital 2 lakh rupees, and the amount towards security premium reserve is also 2 lakh rupees. The final entry bank account debit to equity share final call account. Final call money received. Amount due was 4 lakh and that's been received. So we've completed the journal entries. We'll have a look at the journal entries from the beginning before we go on to preparing the balance sheet and the notes to accounts for share capital. So that's the example sum on top. A few notes we prepared and then continued with journal entries. The first part this is the second part. And the last part of the journal entries. Let's prepare the balance sheet as well as the notes to accounts for share capital for the same example sum 3. So as always, we leave space for the balance sheet and go on to prepare the notes to accounts. Notes to accounts. We have particulars and a rupee column. The first note, share capital. Let's begin with the authorized capital. Authorized capital is rupees 1 crore in equity shares of rupees 100 each. So that's 1 lakh equity shares of rupees 100 each. total 1 crore. We'll double underline it. Next is the issued capital. The number of shares which have been issued is 20,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each, totals to 20 lakh rupees. And a double underline. Next, subscribed capital. The full face value of the share rupees 100 has been called up and the full amount has been received. So the shares will be classified as subscribed and fully paid up. We have 20,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each, 20 lakh rupees. And the amount to be shown in the balance sheet under the head share capital is also rupees 20 lakh. The premium will come under the second note, which is called reserves and surplus. We have securities, premium, reserve. It's on 20,000 shares at the rate of 40 rupees per share. Comes up to 8 lakh rupees. And that's the amount to be shown under reserves and surplus. And the final note for cash and cash equivalents. Cash at bank. The total amount received is 20,000 shares multiplied by the issue price per share is 140 rupees. It comes up to 28 lakh rupees. The amount to be shown under cash and cash equivalents in the balance sheet. We've completed the notes to accounts. Let's go back to the balance sheet. Balance sheet of Alpha Limited as at 31st March. The year is not specified, so we'll put a dash. We have particulars. The second column being the note number and the last column rupees. The first part of the balance sheet is equity and liabilities. We have 1 shareholders funds. Under that, A, share capital. And against note number 1, we will write the amount of the share capital, which is 20 lakh rupees. B is for reserves and surplus. Against note number 2, the amount of security premium reserve is rupees 8 lakh. And the total of the liability side of the balance sheet is 28 lakh rupees. The second part of the balance sheet is assets. We have one as current assets, and under that A as cash and cash equivalents. Against note number 3, the total cash received by the company Alpha Limited is 28 lakh, and the total of the asset side of the balance sheet is also rupees 28 lakh. We've completed the notes to accounts as well as the balance sheet. I'll remove the split. We can view the answer. So the sum on top with the notes this is the balance sheet of Alpha Limited. Followed by the notes to accounts. So in this video, we saw how to pass journal entries where shares have been issued at a premium, both when the amount is payable in lump sum as well as when the amount is payable in installments. We also had a look at how to prepare notes to accounts and balance sheet when shares are issued at a premium, and how to depict securities premium reserve in the balance sheet.